Welcome to Overwatch. This time we're going to be talking about one of my favourite heroes and one of my other favourite heroes, to be honest. We're going to be talking about Anna and Mercy, sent in by the lovely Aki. Aki has his own little YouTube channel as well, which I thought was great to see. Like, I like to see people try and do stuff on YouTube. I've been there, man. I know how it feels. But he uploaded this and he sent this in saying, hey, I got the email in front of me over here, looking over this way. Hello, this was a solo queue match on King's Row, which ended up being very close for both sides. I wish to get better at support and think my positioning is abysmal throughout this game. I would also like to welcome my cooldown, reload management, and target priorities, especially with Anna. I find that I completely forget everything I've drilled once the game gets intense, which kind of happens to absolutely everyone. So we're going to actually just load that up. Get you back in here to Twitch chat for now while the team does make their picks. So we're going to start off with this on Anna. And if you're curious about the rating, by the way, it says at the top 1900. So, you know, it's not the highest of the high. We're still in silver here, looking to improving. Lots and lots of ways to improve about this rating as well. So lots and lots of things we can do to sort of just optimize what we're doing. Also, just some general play things as well going on here on King's Row, especially on how we approach the map. Like, when I was watching through this, it was very interesting to see how people act and react to various things happening, and then how people don't react to certain things happening. Like, they don't do certain things that you'll see at higher ranks, which I always find fascinating. Always find fascinating. So I'm going to slide Twitch chat off and over. Bye, Twitch chat. Bye. If you do have questions, Twitch chat, mostly ask them towards the end. I will occasionally glance over, like if you see me looking this way, I'm usually glancing at Twitch chat. But in general, I will take questions towards the end, so that's the better way of doing things at the moment. Yeah, here we are, we're bonding with our team, saying hello. Now, just like right at the offset in King's Row, I like where we're standing as Anna. Because in King's Row, you kind of the constant threat of a Widowmaker usually looking for a quick pick on the high ground up there. And so you want to be wary of standing too far forward. You want to be near where your Reinhardt is, you want to be near where your your tanks are. And from back here towards the point, we're nice and safe if anyone dashes through here. We're nice and safe if any flanker sort of runs in because we're nice and in the open. Our team can easily just turn around and deal with it. We have a lot of different ways of dealing with it. Meanwhile, like this Hanzo's just asking to be sniped, Farah asking to be sniped. And actually, like, Hanzo feels back a little bit more using the cover of the statue a little bit. I'd say we're just a touch too far back. There we go. This is about perfect. You notice that we're safe from here. And unless, like, their Widow jumps up here, then we have no problem. We can usually see that happening and just tuck in nice and safely over here. So, our priority is going to be quite simple. We want to focus mostly on the tanks. We have a Mercy. Mercy complements Anna's healing pretty goddamn well, and it actually frees you up a hell of a lot. Because you could just then focus on healing the tanks while Mercy dashes around all over the place, spinning plates effectively, and oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. No, she can basically just keep the support healing going and manage to keep, you know, all that healing pumping out, and you don't have to worry too much. So, the thing with Reinhardt's is they're very predictable. Like, this is the most predictable part. The second he starts this charge, we should be thinking sleep dart. Because once he's committed to the charge, it's just the easiest thing in the world to just press shift and get that out. The second he starts going through here as well, it should just be very, very clean. I think we just panicked a tiny bit. We just sort of overreacted a little bit. And the big thing I noticed actually when I was watching this earlier and trying to, you know, figure out, okay, well, where's the key problems? What's the key issues? It's actually a pretty simple little issue, which is, it feels like, you know, we know that drawing Sleep Dart has a small delay on it, right? We know that that happens. You press the button, there's like a 1 second delay, and then it fires, and it draws the gun and shoots. It just feels like we're not putting that into practice. Like, our expectation, our brain isn't quite catching up with that, and I think that's where you're saying, like, you know, I feel like I'm panicking, forgetting what I've drilled. Just be a little bit aware, and just focus a little bit more, just take a little bit more time, because I think we lose this entire first hold here purely because of this sort of little bit of an error. Like, this panic that happens that really shouldn't be a panic. We have all the tools that we need to deal with this and then some. I mean, we're a little bit worried because Farah dies super early. That's just Farah's fault for being, like, out here when no one can help her. Except you, maybe, but then you would have to take a risk exposing yourself over here. We have Hanzo over here putting out no pressure. Reinhardt's charging forward, taking a lot of damage. But it's just not dealing with this was just... Like, we should have just been darting right now into here, because Reinhardt fills about half this space. We know that he's going to be at least in this kind of area. I'd just be aiming about here. And just dump the heal dart on him. And then that saves the Mercy nice and easy. I mean, he tries to overcharge so he doesn't find a target, which is lucky for us because we might just be able to get out of this, and then we just forget that there's a wall behind us. Just with some of the geometry of the map, we forget about this little bit of a wall until it gets stuck back here. Interesting fact, you have the same movement speed as Reinhardt, so if you just keep moving and stay out of his range, as long as he can't hit you, you would be fine. Oh, we get caught in that wall. That's why that's a second hit. Yeah, the Reinhardt gets into the back line, everything just falls apart. Feels bad, man. Okay, fair enough. Mistakes happen, disaster struck, but we can recoup it here, no problem. We can hold this choke point. Usually, when you lose this first point, this is the first area you want to hold, the bookstore and the pub. Good shot there, perfectly fine with that. You want to be doing a little bit of damage. Stop the fire off, no problem. Reload, good, 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 good. I quite like this positioning. The team gets very, very aggressive. Like, the thing with this positioning here that the team is adopting, right? Let's say, right, we're dumping an ult here. They're just trying to get through this choke right now. We've dumped 2 ults into this. Lost Farah. They've lost no resources so far, I believe. They've used nothing. They'll use nothing. And we might be able to hold for a little while. They've used a very late blizzard. Oh boy, that's a ridiculously late blizzard. This is an easy grenade for you, but now we're sort of getting caught off here. We're desperately trying to heal when we can't actually heal. Okay. So why don't I like this defense here? Just in, like, general, this is not so much for the Ana, but this is just in general. You generally want to wait until they actually get through the choke, then capitalize, because you can hold here over and over and over and over again. You can't hold all the way back towards their spawn. Like, once you go past that archway, they reinforce so fast. So very, very fast. Now, any kills here, you're getting like 10 seconds value, and it's actually a bit further out, then you're getting more like 15. They can't get to the payload anymore, they can't use the healing of it, they can't use it for cover. They're just sort of stuck in no man's land trying to get through a choke point that your team has complete control of. As it is now, they have this big mobile cover that they can hide behind, get some healing on, do all sorts of different things with. And as a result, like, we overextend here, trying to get to the healing over here. And suddenly Mei's trapped everyone in. They're starting to reinforce because they've respawned so nearby. It's a good dart there. We panic and throw the heal grenade there. I would have liked to see it sort of beneath us, so we anti-healed their Reinhardt instead. There's a reaction that happens when you're playing Ana, right? When their anti-healing grenade goes on your team. And your brain says, we need more healing. We need more healing. And so you throw your heal grenade at the people with anti-healing. The thing with the heal grenade is it doesn't clear anti-healing. It just sort of sits there and waits for anti-healing to burn off, and then the timer just ticks along. So you sort of find yourself, you're in trouble because you're not getting the full value out of the heal grenade. Instead of throwing it at your feet, you still had anti-healing on yourself, but it would have put anti-healing onto the Reinhardt. Let's see if we can say Farah. Good, good, good. And we don't want to extend any further past here. Because the enemy team will be pushing sort of around this corner when the payload's about here. They'll be looking around here. If we start pushing forward without anyone else, then we start dying. We want to keep Farah floating around here for now, where we can just keep poking her with occasional heals. Pop him off. Good. Good, 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 good. Then keep an eye on the Farah. Okay, Mercy's got Farah. Now that Mercy's on Farah, we ignore the Farah. Mercy can deal with Farah. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We want to be focusing on Reinhardt, Hanzo, D.Va. Especially Reinhardt and D.Va. Let Mercy worry about the Farah. It's just easier for her. We are putting ourselves in a lot of danger right now, just because there's a Mei stood right behind us. That said, hey, it seems to work out. The Mei doesn't capitalize on that positioning that she had, and just decides to run after the main tank for some reason. We're going to go over this fight bit by bit, because there's a couple of errors here on multiple people's parts. Not really on ours. We're actually doing okay, although would have liked to see us just moving out just to keep this Reinhardt alive a little bit, but doesn't matter too much. Because there's a problem with this team lineup, right? Let's talk about the team lineup that we've got, because we've got a Hanzo and a Farah for DPS. That's not ideal. The reason why that's not ideal is the concept that I talked about yesterday, which is pressure. Okay, so there's no pressure being generated, especially by Hanzo. Hanzo is actually a very low pressure hero, especially when he doesn't have his ultimate up, and when he doesn't have Sonic Arrow up. When Sonic Arrow's up, it's very high pressure. Because you can't go around that corner anymore because the enemy team can see you. So that generates an area of high pressure where you can't move into. Farah is relatively low pressure because she's usually flying around somewhere on the flanks or somewhere, a bit awkward, and it's just sort of raining rockets in, but they're usually not quite enough to just get a finishing blow unless you really heavily commit. So Farah's relatively low pressure, Hanzo's relatively low pressher. And as a result, this engagement turns into a complete clusterfuck that the enemy team throws completely in my mind. We do a good job, though, with the nano boost. Like, I'm perfectly fine with the nano boost choice. So the Mei's come around on the flank. And she's actually in a really strong position here, because who the fuck is gonna deal with her? Hanzo? No. D.Va, she can kind of handle. Like, why she runs this way, I don't know. Getting the wall up, fine. Then she should have just turned and started freezing us and getting rid of us. Like, there's no way she's freezing this before it starts killing absolutely everyone. Everyone gets tunneled in by the Hanzo Dragon Strike as well. I'm okay with the Dragon Strike being used there. I would have liked to see it actually be a bit further back, just because Reinhardt's generating this area of threat around the payload. And when Hanzo fires that arrow, you want to be cutting off their main source of escape. Just sort of boxing them in. That way you're getting a huge amount of value either off the Dragon Strike or off the Reinhardt ultimate. You're sort of maximizing the value of one or the other. I would like to see it a little bit further back just so Reinhardt can go in. Don't quite keep the Pharah alive. Someone says good one on that. I don't think that was a good one. I think Pharah could have been perfectly fine not using the barrage there and we just clean up without it. Like I said, once the fight starts petering down, then we can be a little bit more bold at sort of stepping up this way, trying to keep the Reinhardt alive and pull him back. It'll also charge our ultimate up very, very nicely. So Mercy was just standing still for a while there, trying to type there. Mercy has res. Apparently someone's in the subway. Looks like Hanzo's trying to fight someone in the subway. Honestly, like, oh, Soldier's down there. This I really don't like. Like, guys, if this ever happens, if you're in this situation where you know that there's two of the enemy teams sort of in an awkward place like this, don't be this guy. Because what this guy's doing is, well, what's the threat down there? Like, there's a Soldier 76, and I think there's one other person that gets revealed by the Sonic Arrow as well. Like, the Mercy comes down to even help rescue the Soldier. But down here, the Soldier is not doing anything. He has to come all the way out here to start doing things, and he might not be behind the Reinhardt barrier. He's already out the fight. We don't actually need to go and try and kill him here, because one-on-one, Hanzo isn't the greatest in a direct engagement. You want to be very careful when you're doing that kind of fight. Okay, we had a meeting of the anti-heals. Perfectly fine with that. That's usually how Ana engagements go. Earthshadow comes down. We're kind of in a... We actually get saved a bit by that Earthshadow. Now's when we want to be scoping in. Good, good, good. Just a touch late on that, but hey. And we'll talk about why we're going to be scoping in a second when we see the end of this fight play out. This is already over. Oh, no, Mercy gets a good res. Good healing on Mercy. Good, 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 good. Right target prior right now. Now we want to be getting onto the D.Va. Mercy heals up after 1 second. Mercy looks after herself, no problem. Once she's out of engagement range, you just don't care about Mercy anymore. She heals herself fine. Okay, following in. Nice and careful. Stay by the payload. Good, good, good. Heal, heal, heal. Nice. Okay, let's back up a bit. Let's talk about what's happening over here. Come on, YouTube. Ooh, spinny, 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 spinny. Oh. YouTube. There we go. So we're in an okay position. I would like to see us maybe a little bit more towards about here, just so we get vision on the Hanzo when he comes out here. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. And we have good vision of the corners. We can see absolutely everything. Good, 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 good. There's actually a nice little trick as well in this position. When the Reinhardt's coming around here, try and keep an eye on, like, this is a more advanced thing, but it's very much well worth learning when you're dealing with heal grenades and maximizing value on heal nade. Because look where the Reinhardt's positioned. He's about halfway in the street. If we hit the heal grenade about here, it'll hit the Reinhardt. Like, if you throw a heal grenade and land it there, Reinhardt gets anti-healing on him. The enemy team is usually also following right behind him, so you'll generally hit more than one person. I'm perfectly fine with us just using the anti-heal like that, just because they hit us. We sort of want to get value on them. It's just a massive pity that our Reinhardt isn't there. They get a lot of value off this, but we actually get the Mei, which is very, very useful. Makes Mei a lot weaker. We also almost got the Reinhardt, a little bit of damage on the Reinhardt. We've also got Earth-Shattered. Not too much we can do about that. It works out in the end because it knocks us nice and safely back. Knocks Mercy out of danger as well. So their Reinhardt honestly just saved our lives, but he couldn't have probably known that. Okay, good, good, good. We want to be a little bit careful, like with this backing up here. Because when I see this motion here, my belly goes a bit funny and I nearly cacked my pants. Because we nearly walked into the pit, which would have been disastrous for our team. Everyone's healing, just slapping 1 or 2 shots on the Reinhardt, fine with. Again, we don't worry about the Mercy. Healing, healing, healing. Now we start moving up. Because the fight's moving away from us, we want to be moving in. And we're going to scope in. And let's talk about scoping, like at this moment. Because people are asking, like, hey, like, what's wrong with, you know, when do I scope in, when don't I scope in? So there's a checklist in my mind, which is pretty simple. You scope in when you are safe, and you know you are safe, and you need immediate healing on targets. That's what scoping in gives you. It gives you much more secure, guaranteed healing, because there's no projectile time, there's no travel time, and the target you shoot will instantly be healed.
Ryan probably has all, by the way. He hasn't used it.
But you've got to make sure that you're safe. So the reason, like, you want to be scoping in briefly, fire off a couple of shots, and then descope, just for the reasons like we just see right now with the Winston jumping in here. This means, you know, the fact that we descoped, we saw the Winston coming in. If we kept our scope up, trying to funnel healing into the back here, we would not have seen this coming. Now we want to stay descope because there's an active threat around, and stuff is close enough and big enough with the tanks that we don't need to be scoped and slow moving. Also with Reinhardt far away, we don't need to be we don't want to be scoped in. Hey, some free kills. We've actually baited out Mercy. Unfortunately, there's just no pressure keeping the DPS back, so May just runs into the backline, kills us, they get nano boost out, and it all goes terribly, terribly wrong, because we have a hands-on Afara which is generating zero pressure. In a more conventional team lineup, what happens in this case is this Reinhardt is just dead. This Reinhardt should be dead. Unfortunately, our Reinhardt misses his charge. Mercy comes in. Our Reinhardt and D.Va have 2 free kills sat right here. Meanwhile, while this is happening, the May just runs in, the Winston just runs in, because Farah's pissing about back here trying to kill their backline. Hanzo can't stop a Winston and a May running in, and yeah, it still goes horribly, horribly wrong, and we can't then go and support our 2 tanks. This is the problem with Hanzo and Farah, generating limited pressure, unfortunately. There's nothing actually wrong with our positioning here. There's nothing we really could have done there to stay alive, aside from, like, if we had Sleep Dart up, maybe? No, Sleep Dart's down because we just used it on the Reinhardt, which again, I think is the correct move. There was just nothing we could have done there. Like, that was not our fault. So I'm going to have a slurp of coffee. But it's not a disaster. We've managed to make up a lot of time, so there's about a minute 20 on the clock. They're going to get a couple more minutes when the payload rolls in, but they had to use a lot of ultimates to do that, so perfectly fine with that. Let's stop the D.Va off.
Can you stay with me for when I like do my charges and stuff? Because that E will fuck everybody up.
And, like, the Reinhardt's asking, yeah, can you stay with me? The thing with this Reinhardt is he overcharges a little bit and then sort of left us a bit vulnerable and exposed, which feels bad, man.
80%.
We can just top that off, keep that nice and safe. Hanzo not using the Reinhardt barrier, tilting me like crazy. Okay, now we're doing a good job. We want to stay with the Reinhardt, keep him alive. Reinhardt struggling his barrier. Free kill here. Free kill here. So again, when you're dealing with an enemy Reinhardt, we want to be thinking about our Sleep Dart. Like, once the Reinhardt commits to a charge, we know where he's going to end. Like, we can approximate very easily that he's going to end up over there, and he's going to be stuck in a very simple motion. Fortunately, Winston drops a barrier here, but then this Winston is just like an easy Sleep Dart target for us. Don't be afraid of just using it for like a 1-second stun. Even though Reinhardt's engaged with that guy, the 1-second stun on the Winston would have made a bit of a difference, maybe. Although then they start like dropping ults like crazy, but whatever. D.Va actually does a good job buying us some space. A little bit unfortunate with that. And this is where their Winston does a good job of cutting us off. So this is an example of a Winston playing well. And doing basically what he needs to be doing. The D.Va ult was good. Basically saved our entire team. We want to try and keep him alive. Unfortunately, we get knocked away by the Winston, and then he puts a bubble down, which is going to cut us off from the rest of the team. And then our Reinhardt runs into the bubble. Can't be healed anymore. We can't do much. We could try and keep the D.Va alive a little bit. We get the kill on the Winston as a result of that, which is good. And again, we're not really at too much of a halt there, aside from missing maybe a Sleep Dart opportunity earlier. But that would have been like a risky Sleep Dart and difficult to land anyway. And I can see actually Kraupam saying that the ult was wasted on a stunned Reinhardt. I don't think the Reinhardt was stunned when the ult went out. I think we ult him about now. Yeah, so we ult at the same time the stun comes out. I think it's a bit unfortunate that we ult after a blizzard comes down, which is a little bit of a shame and a little bit of a waste, but honestly, the stun came out the same time as Nano Boost, so that's perfectly fine. I think we might have been able to hold it, but we needed like something during the fight. Here we go, let's go from here. So now we're in stalling mode. Now we're sort of in desperation mode. We just want to we want to scope in, heal the Reinhardt as much as possible, try and get to cover towards this side more, and get more towards where the Reinhardt is. Keep him alive, good Sleep Dart. Reinhardt wakes him up, it happens, it's just part of playing Ana, don't panic about that. We're actually in a really good location right now where nothing can really deal with us and Farah's just killed 4 people. Absolutely great. Anti-healing grenade on their tank. Good, good, good. That's going to help clean that up. When we're in a situation like this where Winston's just hunting us down around a corner, this is going to sound crazy. Like, this heal grenade is really good because it gets rid of one of the big things that's going to be hard to remove otherwise, even though the support's already dead. If the supports were alive, you want to have anti-healing on the big tanks because that sets things up nice and easily for a kill. And hey, Jory Costava 12 has joined the many. Thank you so much. Welcome, my friend, to the many. Thank you so much for your support. So we're just dealing damage, dealing damage, dealing damage. Good, good, good. Healing, healing, healing. In this instance, we actually want to be just a bit closer to the wall and just moving around, breaking the line of sight of the Winston gun, and that would have been a little bit better, but we're still perfectly fine. May saves our asses. Good, 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 good. Top everyone off. Don't forget to top yourself off.
Alright, so they have a minute. So
Okay, Mercy's coming in, done it.
Try to do some damage.
And Farah got an achievement. Way, grats, Farah. But now we have to be very, very careful. And this positioning, again, I think your positioning is perfectly fine. I think you can come this way a little bit, just keep this Reinhardt in your line of sight. There you go. This is perfect. This is exactly where we want to be. Because if the enemy team's going to fire an ultimate or something big's going to happen, it's going to happen over here. It's not going to happen anywhere we are. So we could just influence the battle in a major way. We're not going to do much offensive support, but what we can do as well is if their Reinhardt gets overeager, which he seems to do, he will be charging down here, in areas that we can see, predict, and sleep dart. So we're in actually a really good position to just be set up. Cancel any aggression they have. We've got a good nano boost. Their Reinhardt charges in. Okay. I would have thrown a heal grenade into this mess. Just a touch earlier. So the second the hammer down comes in, actually the second the Reinhardt pretty much arrives, like here, I would have been throwing my heal grenade about here. Just to get the anti-healing onto the Reinhardt, it will also get it onto your Reinhardt, keeping them alive that little bit longer, makes Mercy's healing a bit more effective, and then it stops this Mercy's effectiveness, like, dead. And when there's an Earth Shatter, like, you gotta remember the enemy team is gonna be rushing in, trying to deal as much damage as they can, so the heal grenade comes in and just mitigates that a nice little bit more. Perfectly fine with the use of this nano boost because we're probably dead. So we want to get that out there because it could be the last fight. So we definitely want to have that nano boost out there. That's perfectly good use. Okay, now we just want to try and run out. Hoping that the team stalls. It's just Farah left. Farah. No, Farah flies too high.
You have to get on site. You're flying.
Interesting thing with flying, you have to be very, very close to the payload. So if you're over it, it doesn't count. Coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're on the attack. We're still playing Anna. Anna is good on attack and defense, so perfectly fine with that. We'll have a look at our team lineup in a second, although it hasn't changed too much. We've got our Soldier 76 instead of a Hanzo, which is much better. It also gives us a very, very potent nano boost target. So now we have two very strong options. We have Soldier 76 and Reinhardt as nano boost targets that could be absolutely huge. You could also, in a pinch, nano boost the Farah. Farah, not the greatest, simply because Barrage already kills everything, so you don't really need the extra damage. But when you nano boost the Farah, it's usually just for a bit of extra tankiness rather than a little bit of extra damage.
Call it out, I guess.
Do we know they have a Reinhardt? He's good.
Watch out, Symmetra.
Ryan's like right out the front door.
Okay, so this guy's actually just made a very important call, and people don't pay attention to it, and this frustrates me greatly. Symmetra set up some turrets.
So it's the Metro turret.
The worst thing you can do right now is run everybody out here, because all that's going to do is give Symmetra about 40% charge on a shield generator or a teleporter, depending on whatever the hell she wants. That ain't good. Why not just leave through one of the other two doors?
Watch out, take him out.
Lucio is actually very good at clearing these. And don't be afraid to use a heal grenade in a situation like this. Like throwing it, like jumping out, throwing the heal grenade up, the splash of the grenade kills turrets dead. Don't be afraid to use heal grenades very early anyway. Like we want to be using them relatively quickly. A little bit before then. Also just be very careful about eating Symmetra orbs like that. Their Symmetra probably already has her teleporter. This is a dead Reinhardt. For some reason our Reinhardt does one of the worst counter charges I've ever seen. And this tilts me so much. This tilts me so much because this is the freest kill in the world, ladies and gents. That Reinhardt goes fucking insane. He has a Symmetra and a Winston able to support him. We've got heal grenades out the wazoo. Everyone's being healed up. Everyone's perfectly fine. And then for some reason, he charges. Now, if you are our friendly Reinhardt in this situation, What do you do? Is it A, countercharge, B, just hold down left mouse button, or C, I don't know, surrender? The answer is not A or C, it's just hold down left mouse button and just kill him. Because you've got all your supports around you, you've got everything ready. This countercharge just lands him through past the fountain, he actually charges into a Symmetra orb and dies. If he just held left click, Lucio, Anna can heal him up, no problem, and he instantly wins the fight. Even with Mercy healing the Reinhardt, Mercy can't heal through all that. Meanwhile, our D.Va's 3 miles back, not getting the free kill over here. Soldier's nowhere to be seen. Pharah's nowhere to be seen. Pharah's busy dying up there. Soldier's all the way over here for some reason. It's anarchy in the UK, ladies and gents, and this is where I was saying, like, watching sort of silver to gold level play
Their tanks are
fascinates me.
still at the gate.
Because you quite rightly say, their tanks were still at the gates. You had free kills all over, meanwhile your DPS was run ahead of the tanks, not using the tanks, your D.Va is stuck in the backline on her own. What? There's a small advantage here in that D.Va can, like, flexibly go and try and find the teleporter if it does get put down, so can Soldier. But this Soldier can't really do anything. This Pharah can't do anything at the moment. He's 1 versus 6. We want a heal grenade over here. If you can spot, like, especially the Mercy, if we throw a heal grenade right here, we hit the Mercy, which makes Mercy really vulnerable. We clear some turrets, we hit Symmetra, and we hit Soldier 76. Why Soldier 76 decides the best option is to just sprint miles behind enemy lines, I don't know. But he does, and then he does a full lap of the fountain and comes back. He's clearly training for the biathlon or something. And again, we have a free as hell Reinhardt. Easiest kill in your life. Soldier has gone and decided to play with Symmetra. Symmetra luckily goes down. Unfortunately, we get caught in a hammer down because our Reinhardt is too busy trying to swing and kill things rather than using a barrier, protecting our Soldier 76 dice to safely tuck behind him where he can just kill everything. This is where playing support is frustrating because your team's clowning. Your team is basically clowning. There's nothing wrong with your positioning at the moment. I need some coffee just to relax me. Just to relax me.
Staying on the back, okay.
There we go. So now that the team's actually gathered together, Farah's gone off and died to the Anna because there's no pressure happening and Farah's just flying around on her own, dying. So if there's no pressure, then Farah gets shot by Annas. It happens.
Take down the shield.
We almost have Nano Boost. We almost have Earthshatter, pretty sure. Their shield is very, very low. We actually have a really, really solid opportunity right now, especially because D.Va, I believe, said that they took out the shield generator as well. Once Farah starts to come back, we're in such a strong place. This is now, finally, a normal push. People moving in. Easy kill on the Reinhardt. Mercy reses. We can just set up to sleep this. We nano boost the Reinhardt, charging in, perfectly fine with that. I would have liked to see, just keeping our eye on this Reinhardt. We want to force this Reinhardt into an awkward situation. Like, we actually have a lot of control here over this Reinhardt. Because if he just runs this way or tries to charge this way, we sleep dart him. The second he drops his barrier, if we're just, like, we nano boost this, and we turn and we just look, like, this way. Like, just looking this way would actually stop this Reinhardt getting back into the fight. Because then he's forced into a decision. Do I barrier up and then just slowly walk my way back? Or do I try to charge? In which case you just sleep dart him, he's out the fight. Or he walks slowly back, in which case he's not in the fight for a while. We get Tac Visor, we get Shattered down, we kill absolutely everything, clear everything on the point. We could have just forced this Reinhardt to be completely out of this fight. 100%. Instead, he does manage to get back into it. Luckily, it doesn't make too much of a difference. Our team does a good job cleaning up on the point. We use a sound barrier that we didn't really need. I think Lucio panicked because Reinhardt was in the fight. That might have been the reason. So we might have saved sound barrier, for example, just like a small knock-on effect to these small adjustments that you'll see happening as play gets cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And yeah, we would have maybe used 1 or 2 less resources. Overall, notice that once we grouped up and once the team acted like a team, it worked. It worked pretty easily.
Like some of them are going above.
Here in the bongs of Big Ben. Yeah, we're perfectly fine here. Just healing, healing, healing. I actually don't like us tucking in here this close. We want to be just a touch back, so if anything happens to this front line, we're actually safer on the back. When we're all funneled in here, like, notice that there's just no space here at all. If they get anything in here, everyone is just dead. Like, a Fire Strike just came through and dealt way too much damage. We've got a naked D.Va ult going in, panics the enemy team. We get a good grenade off. We get an assist. This Winston is doing absolutely nothing. He's gone crazy. And just decided to throw his ult away. Does manage to get 1 kill. Too little too late. Reinhardts, don't do this. Don't do this. For one simple reason, is that you can't be healed anymore. D.Va should be plugging down that barrier as soon as possible. There we go. Like, the soldier can already deal with it, and soldier's a bit safer than you.
Winston dead?
We don't need the Reinhardt charge in there. That could have gone really badly.
Dead?
I'm so curious about this. The fact that this D.Va ult works is shocking. I think it's just because they don't realize that the D.Va ult could reach this far, which, you know, happens. I mean, you saw it yesterday. I think it was yesterday where we were fighting against the D.Va who just, like, kept tossing bombs over the buildings in, like, really, really tight and creative ways. This is just shooting it down the street. Like, we know where that's going to end up. You surely, as the enemy team, you know where she's going to try and put that. Surely. Winston goes crazy. Don't know why Winston ulted there. Don't know why Winston was even engaging in that. Shouldn't have been doing it. He's on his own.
Yep, I got
We got a ton of free space. Oh, missed opportunity.
Respawn, he's gonna come top.
So rather than waiting for him to come around the corner, there's a nice big juicy wall here. We have heal grenade. Throw the heal grenade here. Soldier's already backing up. If we had a heal grenade going here, this might have kept him alive that little bit longer. And then he gets his heal field down. He's got a heal grenade on him. He survives like a champion because he's suddenly getting 100 health per second. I think it's like that. No, it's not quite going to be quite 100 health. I think it's more like 60 health per second. It's still a lot. And he might be able to do something about the Reinhardt with the Pharah. Our tanks, again, go fucking insane. Don't consider the end of their charges. And then we're sort of stuck going, hi. Hi. Run. Don't know why tanks insist on doing this. Because notice, like, okay, so this Reinhardt entirely made his own demise here. And it's friggin' hysterical as a sequence of events. Because... okay, we're in a pretty good position. Like, Reinhardt got heal naded, backed off wisely, waited for it to finish. Charged himself down into the tunnel, so now he can't protect his team. If he ended here, it might have been okay, just because he's putting pressure out here, but now we're just sort of stuck. So now we move forward, we go, oh shit, we have to pull back. Suddenly Reinhardt's out of line of sight, we can't heal Reinhardt anymore, Reinhardt dies. Reinhardt killed himself. Reinhardt killed himself in a very creative way by just forcing us to have to pull back into an area where we don't have clean line of sight anymore. Feels bad, man. This fight is done. This fight is done and over and finished. We are finished with it. The second that nano boost came out, the second the sights went out, the second Earth Shadow went out, the fight is done, back up, good, good, good. We want to hold on to nano boost and wait.
Alright, I got my ult.
I'd say there's nothing wrong with your positioning on Ana. Like,
I almost did.
I'd say a couple of times maybe you step a bit too close, a bit too far forward. You're still just as effective, just a little bit farther back. And that was a bit of a waste.
I have my ult.
What prompted that grenade?
I almost did.
Everyone's near full, everyone is near full. We still have a Lucio healing people up as well.
Soldier, yeah,
We don't need this heal grenade. Would have been better just to save it or try and throw it on the enemy team.
yeah,
And there's opportunities here to throw it. Can we get a keyframe? Probably not. Very, very blurry, but in instances where like they're holding this corner, again, one of the best places to land a heal grenade is on the wall behind them. So you can lob it over the Reinhardt and get it on the wall back here. That would have been a better use of that heal grenade. This one is just throwing a heal grenade for the sake of throwing a heal grenade. We've got Lucio topping everyone up if someone needed top enough. We didn't need that. Everyone's a little bit low, but hey, still perfectly fine. Lucio's still topping stuff up. We've got to be a little bit careful of the Junkrat spam. D.Va's going to deal with it. We've thrown another heal grenade for no reason. Feels bad, man. Imagine if you could throw a heal grenade up here right now. You know, or right now. Jesus, this now would have been good. And unfortunately, we can't.
Guys, when we kill the Winston, we should push.
Still, we're actually not in too bad of a situation right now. D.Va's going to get demet because she overstepped her boundaries. Didn't have done that. We'll try and heal this soldier. Soldier's taking care of himself a little bit. Ooh. Oh! Notice when it starts going bad, it goes bad very quickly. Like the heal grenade goes on D.Va. D.Va suddenly starts taking a shitload of damage. This is just D.Va overstepping her bounds. She needed to get defense matrix up if she's going to try and step past the Reinhardt barrier. Otherwise, that's just going to happen. We get hit by a grenade and get hit by the monkey. Down we go. Oh, my throat is very dry for some reason today. Yeah, that's just an instance of them stepping too far forward. Let's get back to the fight.
We need the damage to do the job.
Don't know why Reinhardt's here. These guys should be pulling back. Reinhardt should be trying to rest up his shield, because right now it's sub 500. Reinhardt needs to be resting up his shield at the moment. You just lose this fight because you're going into it with no barrier.
I have my ult.
His barrier goes down, but
See if I can go behind.
so will ours.
Go, go, go.
Our Shadow comes in. Fire in the hole is going to come from this way. That said, I I think we nano boosted for the sake of nano boosting. Like, it felt like we had to because we've had it for a while, but we did not need to use it then.
Go, go, go.
With the engage happening, like, our Reinhardt does get the better of their Reinhardt somehow. Just because he has Earthshadow and the enemy Reinhardt doesn't, I guess. Earthshadow comes down. There's nothing that can threaten this already. Like, she is perfectly fine. You don't need extra damage on Barrage. Like, the nano boost is purely just because it's going to be keeping you alive.
Winston.
I gave it to Fire.
We'll skip the buttons a frame. Ooh, go a frame. Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh. There's nothing we can really do about that death. Like, nothing's going to be able to deal with that. Even if we shoot the Junkrat turret, it's not going to be enough to kill it. You have to hit it twice. There's no way we're stopping that before it comes in. But that nano boost was not useful. Like, Farah was perfectly fine then. Nothing was shooting at her, and she had sound barrier on her, and had enough damage output to kill everything already. I believe a full damage barrage to something like, I think it's like 2,500 damage. I think it will just kill a Reinhardt plus his barrier if you just tunnel damage fully into it. If it all hits that target. Like, it's a lot of damage. You don't need extra DPS on it. We could have had a nano boost for this fight, for example. Definitely want to be healing this person. Like, let's look at our angle coming in here. So they've just used Transcendence to stall. Good. This is actually good for us. They're using Transcendence to stall, so they're stunning a fight by using a defensive ultimate that they're not going to have access to. Hammer down comes in. Okay. Sleep the Reinhardt. Good. Thing with Reinhardts when they use Earthshadow, generally, and especially I imagine at this level, a Reinhardt that Earthshadows, the first thing he's going to do at this level is run forward. Easiest sleep dart of your life. At high level, they actually do bring the barrier back up because they know that they've just exposed themselves and are vulnerable, and they know that people like Anno are just going to be waiting for the sleep dart. Still, that's a good sleep dart. When we turn here, our first priority is, oh shit, heal this, heal this. This is actually where I would have scoped. So I would have been scoping now. Like, when we see this, this is when we scope in, because there's nothing actually threatening us from this angle, especially if we keep backpedaling, and we need the instant healing on this. We need to guarantee the landing of heal on that target. If we scoped in and landed the shot there a little bit earlier, we might have been able to save that Farah. Winston cannot out DPS Anna's healing. Otherwise, we're doing okay, we're doing okay. Got to be a little bit careful. That was just, yeah, that sleep dart was actually a good sleep dart, just whiffed a little bit, doesn't feel too bad. Now we're in an interesting situation, right? Because now we're sort of caught between healing and DPS. And honestly, like, I do like this cheeky shot here, and then just focusing on this. Once the heal grenade goes in, though, we want to be backpedaling. But then we don't want to be backpedaling too far this happens. We want to be staying about here. And the reason is actually pretty simple, especially once the soldier doesn't, like, deal with us. Is we can tuck around the payload, use a payload healing to keep ourselves alive a little bit more and have a little bit of cover. When we start moving out here, now we're getting more and more exposed. The soldiers coming in from this flank cause us some issues. So we just want to be like where we were just a couple of moments earlier, maybe. Because soldiers just looking for us. Still, it's not too bad at the moment. That's not a disaster, I think, that we can deal with the soldiers. We can. Beautiful. Let me get the point. Now we have a long run back. We got a bad spawn. We want to be healing this. Oh! Diva, no! Yeah, we just lose track of heal priority there. Like, Reinhardt is fine. Even though he's asking I need heals, Reinhardts can look after themselves. This chap really needs heals. And... bye, Diva! She dropped like she will out of the meta. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, I'm perfectly okay with this location. I actually don't like us going out here to try and chase down this Farah. We don't need to be doing that. I'd actually like us to go this way if we want to go and heal this Farah. We want to use this box mostly as cover, so if they do start focusing us, we just nip behind this box and start healing from safety this way. But that point there gives us a good angle to see everything. They don't have anything threatening up here or up here, so we don't have to worry about that. They don't have a widow or anything, so we can just stand at the back there, nice and safe. And plug damage. When we start getting further away from the box, we have nowhere to sort of retreat back if we do start taking damage. And that leaves us a little bit dangerous. Farah's already running for the health pack. She doesn't actually need healing. I would actually still tunnel damage into that Winston barrier. So in an instance like this, Farah actually doesn't need our healing just yet. We want to get rid of this because that opens up a healing on this target and this target. Getting rid of these bubbles is super important when you have an Ana on your team. Unfortunately, as well, Lucio goes crazy. Farah That one I'm fine with. That nano boost is actually pretty good. That nano boost is actually really good. All the value. All of the value. Let's talk about why this nano boost is good while the one previously wasn't. This one is good because we know they're going to be focusing on this. We know that the focus is going here. This gives her 50% damage reduction instantly. And then the Reinhardt foolishly, you fool Reinhardt, you fallen into our trap, gives us line of sight. Honestly, at this point, I would just scope up and try and heal this Pharah. Because if Reinhardt tries to kill you, Pharah will kill everyone. If Reinhardt drops his barrier here, hopefully the rest of our team will kill him. Even if you die, if you can land like one heal dart on her, her health will go up to about here. She'll be very difficult to get rid of. Most of the team's already dead. You will out DPS all of them and get the win. Hey, we got another member of the many, KL Charmander. Is that Charmander? Charmander, not Charmander. You forgot Nanara in your name, friend, but still, I still love you. Welcome to the many. Thank you so much. Luckily, Reinhardt pulls back. Everyone dies. Good, 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 good. That, honestly, might have just saved you this entire match. That single nano boost. That was a very good nano boost.
Yep, got it.
And I like how the Pharah's happy. You fucking... That was you. Don't ever think that was not you. We want to be thinking about Sleep Dart here. I mean, this is just me being very aggressive with it, but I would have actually looked for a Sleep Dart on this target. I would probably shot it about here. Like, if we're in this position, I would have shot it about here. The reason is, we can't kill this, but if we sleep it, it won't be a threat anymore. And there's nothing protecting him, and he's just running in a straight line this way to try and get line of sight down here. So if we sleep him, it would have just stopped any damage from him coming in. A little bit too far forward at the moment. There we go. We want to stay sort of around the back of the payload, so again, we can use it for cover, a little bit of healing. Luckily, Winston pulls back. Our team does a good job of removing the bubble. Good, 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 good. Good. This is good. This is very, very good. I was actually, when I first watched this, I was genuinely surprised you did this, because this is actually a very, very good thing to do. We see that they have no threats. Now, we miss an opportunity here to get the heal grenade down right now. Just to get anti-healing on this guy. But he brings his barrier up. We know that he's going to try and barrier this. Oh god, you can see the green light is actually, like, this monitor is so bright that I'm starting to disappear because the light is green coming off the monitor. There we go. I'm gonna rematerialize myself. There we go, ladies and gents. Reinhardt's, when they're in this sort of, you know, turtle mode, they can't actually backpedal very fast. So we can just run through. We run forward, get a heal grenade behind him. Now, the Reinhardt is pretty much dead. Nothing's going to keep him alive. No amount of healing coming out of, like, whatever that is. Whatever blurry mess that is. If, for example, if they had... No, I think that was the Junkrat. If they had a Mercy or an Ana up, no amount of healing is going to keep them alive. It's going to stop them stalling even longer. Very, very important that we claim the point there because, hey... Actually, it's a little bit unfortunate, but we still get the minute, I believe, no matter what. Yeah, we do. We still get a little bit of time.
Good job, guys.
2 seconds faster would have been nice.